Hey y'all, looky what I got. Krispy Kreme donuts. Yup, I had to indulge.
Freebirds, welcome to another episode. So today's video is on Candy, aka the hungry fat chick here on YouTube. So some of you may not have heard of her channel because it's fairly small, but she won't be on YouTube much longer if she doesn't get some good guidance soon, if we cannot help her. So before we get on to Candy, I want to address, I firstly want to show you guys this awesome comment from one of you Freebirds. It's from Convoys of Nothingness. I love Freelee. She convinced me to go vegan 1 year ago and I'm thankful she saved my life. My cirrhosis was chronic and now it's gone. I wish you knew how much I love you, Freelee. Well, I do now. I do know how much you love me. That's really, really sweet. Thank you so much for leaving this comment. And I've actually had experience with my skin as well, where I had acne on my shoulders, on my chest, on my back, and I also had systemic candida. And I overcame both of those things, which are interrelated. They're kind of, you know, one goes with the other on a raw till 4 and a raw vegan lifestyle. And also check out Happy Human on YouTube. She actually did a video about her severe acne. She's kind of trolling in the video, but she is honest as well. This lifestyle saved her skin and she's super, super happy. All right, so on to the video. Alrighty, so on to Candy, the fat chick. She does these mukbangs, these junk food mukbangs, which are so popular on YouTube at the moment. They're an easy way to make money, but they're horrible and they're just promoting, you know, cruelty to animals and cruelty to people's health. And they're just confusing people all over the place because, you know, people want to watch these and they want to like diet and they want to get slim and they want to get healthy and it's just like a big old mess. So Candy has about 24,500 subscribers. And, you know, she's got like a loyal following who likes to watch her eat junk food. So I found Candy from a comment one of you Freebirds left because you were concerned about her health and you felt like she was going to have a heart attack soon. Honestly, I was watching her videos and my heart was breaking. I feel for this woman. You know, I don't like a victim mentality. I will be honest there. I don't like a victim mentality, especially myself, but I also have empathy and compassion for people who are stuck in an eating disorder, who are stuck in this dieting merry-go-round that is forever. You know, it's just going on and on and on, and there seems to be no end to it. And there is so much diet propaganda out there that Candy is at this stage where she's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what works. So she doesn't know what direction to go in.
Hey y'all. I just wanted to give a little update on my weight loss situation. And I wanted to kind of clarify that I don't want this channel to become a weight loss journey channel.
Okay, so first up, I can see that Candy has conflicting values here. On one hand, she wants to be healthy and she wants to be slim, but on the other hand, she started this channel because it's a mukbang channel and people are enjoying watching her eat junk food. And, you know, she's getting money for that and she's built a whole channel on that. So she's got conflicting values, but at the end of the day, Candy, you need to prioritize your health and well-being or you're just not going to be around to enjoy YouTube.
I quit the protein powder thing yesterday. You know, it was today's day 7, but last night was my last night on the protein shake diet. I said, F this.
Yeah, exactly. F that. I agree, Candy. I mean, seriously, who is recommending that she eats more protein? They're recommending she eats like a bodybuilder when she wants to get slim and healthy. The lady already has enough protein in her diet, in particular animal protein, and this is causing problems for her body. So recommending she eats more protein is just ridiculous. You know, animal protein has been connected with so much illness. There's so much damage to the body having animal protein.
Eating a diet rich in animal proteins during middle age makes you 4 times more likely to die from cancer than someone with a low protein diet, a mortality risk factor comparable to smoking cigarettes.
I didn't like the way it made me feel. I didn't like the feeling of being hungry all day, every day. I want real food in me.
I want real food in me. That's right, Candy, spot on. You need real food. You don't need any more of this garbage, rubbish, processed stuff. Your body runs on real food, on fruits and vegetables. You know, Candy can see that she needs more fruits and vegetables. She knows, but she's not sure of how exactly to eat in a way that's going to leave her satisfied, and that's where I come in. You know, you have to eat enough calories from the right calories in order to feel satisfied at the end of the meal, so you don't go and binge out on this crap that is keeping you overweight and unhealthy. We are frugivores by design. We're biologically meant to eat fruit, a lot of fruit, greens, nuts and seeds, but we also do well with the addition of cooked plant foods. So you can eat all the potatoes, the pasta and the rice and still be super healthy, and this is what Candy is missing from her diet.
Oh, why am I always tired? Fatigue. I have no energy as usual. I haven't eaten yet today. It's 2 p.m.
Candy, of course you're going to feel tired. It's 2 p.m. and you haven't eaten. Anyone is going to feel tired if they haven't eaten by 2 o'clock. And that's going to set you up for a big ass binge later on. And when you do eat, it's going to be high in fat and high in protein, and your body is just going to grind to a halt. You're going to be lethargic. You're going to feel like crap, basically. You need to make this connection, okay? You're not getting enough real food. Like you said, fruits and vegetables. You're not getting enough vitamins and minerals and phytonutrients and antioxidants and polyphenols. All of these protective substances that are found firstly in fruits. Out of any food on the planet, they're firstly found in fruits and then vegetables. So you gotta load up on the fruits and vegetables if you want to have energy.
Foods. Fruit, on the other hand, is beneficial in almost any amount. What do they mean by almost? Can we eat 10 fruit a day? How about 20 fruit a day? It's actually been put to the test. 17 people were made to eat 20 servings a day of fruit, despite the extraordinarily high fructose content of their diet, presumably about 200 grams a day, 8 cans of soda worth. The investigators reported no adverse effects, and possible benefit, actually, for body weight, blood pressure, and insulin and lipid levels, fats in the blood, after 3 to 6 months. More recently, Jenkins and colleagues put people on about a 20 servings of fruit a day diet for a few weeks, and no adverse effects on weight or blood pressure or triglycerides, and an astounding 38-point drop in LDL cholesterol. There was one side effect, though. Given the 44 servings of vegetables they had on top of all that fruit, they recorded the largest bowel movements apparently ever documented in a dietary intervention.
I don't even eat all day. You know, I do intermittent fasting.
Oh no, intermittent fasting is the worst idea, okay? It's just going to set you up for big ass binges. Not only Candy, but you guys out there, please just make that connection. If you're going to starve yourself, your brain is going to make up the calorie deficit later on with the binge. That's going to happen every time. So I worked out Candy's BMR, and it is around 2,700 calories per day. Candy, this is what you need. This is how many calories you need just for lying down all day doing absolutely nothing. This is what your body needs to function just at rest. Okay, so you need so many more calories than that, and I'm sure that you're trying to restrict to probably even less than that, and that is setting you up for failure, and then you're having these big ass binges in between. Okay, so people watching this, you need to realize, and Candy, you need to realize that you are carrying a backpack of around 250 pounds on your back from like a average person's weight, or 200 pounds backpack on your back. So that is going to be so many more calories burned. So you need to replace them as well, but with the right foods. Calories are not created equally. You take twins, one's eating like 2.5 calories from McDonald's and the other's eating like 2.5 calories from fruits and vegetables. Are they going to look the same? Are they going to feel the same? Are their bodies going to function the same? No, they're not. So please remember that.
A little weight loss update. And guess what? I'm a big fat failure.
Please never talk yourself down. There is enough people in this world who will talk you down. Don't worry, you don't need to do it yourself. Please be your friend, okay? Calling yourself a failure is a big no-no. Don't live in the past. You're not the past. You are a new person in every moment. The past doesn't equal the future unless you live there, okay? Bring yourself into the present moment. Realize you can be a new, better version of yourself in any moment when you choose. Please remember that and never give up on creating the person you truly want to be. Okay, Candy, I want you to meet a lovely lady, Vicki. She did a 30-day Raw Till 4 challenge and she was 300 pounds at the time.
Just did the Raw Till 4 30-day challenge and ended a couple weeks ago. And I debated about whether or not to report on it because it's not my first time down this road and I've failed in the past. And when we failed, I think there's a little part of our body that feels we somehow don't deserve to succeed.
I can totally relate to what Vicki said. It is a vicious, vicious cycle. And that's why we need to break that cycle in you today, Candy, and to bring out that true you.
Yeah, so I haven't been doing very good at this whole diet thing. I don't think I believed that I would be. I never was very good at diets, ketogenic, or any other diet that I've ever been on in my entire life.
Me too. I haven't been able to stick to those diets either because diets don't work. You need a lifestyle change for life. You know, I just want you to know this is not your fault. This is not a fault of discipline. This isn't because you don't have enough discipline. This is because you're not being nourished enough, okay? No one can do these diets long term, these keto diets, these starvation plans. They cannot do them long term because the brain and the body in a healthy state runs exclusively off sugar, off glucose. And if you starve your body of that, yes, you'll lose water weight. You'll see it on the scales. You're like, oh my God, this is really good. It works. But that weight will come back because you have to eat carbohydrates. Your body runs, it's like, you know, a car running on petrol or diesel. It needs that in order to perform. And that's what you need. And you need to make that connection. So don't feel bad about it because you're just on the wrong, you know, you're following the wrong plan.
Those eating low-carb diets appear to cut their lives short. But not just any low-carb diet, specifically those based on animal sources, whereas vegetable-based low-carb diets were associated with a lower risk of death.
It's so funny because this morning I was looking at videos that I made 5 years ago, or almost 4 years ago now. And one of them, I wrote it down, was called Newbie Raw Foodist and Her Junk Food Insanity. And for years I felt I've been insane. In fact, maybe I'll go through my experience with dieting, and you'll see it is. I have been insane. I have been anorexic. I have had bulimia. I have now understand myself to be experiencing binge eating disorder, and never have I. But there was where the light bulb went off because I never really thought of myself as having an eating disorder. I've always thought of myself as obese.
So I'm going to continue eating healthy foods and in small amounts a couple of times a day and see what happens. I'm not going to eat the sugary foods. I'm not going to eat the breads. I'm not going to eat the carbs. And see if I can lose some weight that way.
So this is why Candy continues to struggle because she thinks that carbohydrates are the enemy. But you need to remember cakes and pizza and stuff like that, ones that have animal products in them or on them, they are not carbohydrate rich foods, they are more fat rich foods. So you take out the fat and the excess protein and the body starts to reduce its size and you start to become healthier. So remember, it's not the sugary and the carbs and the fruit and the vegetables. These are not the things that are making you gain weight and be unhealthy. Candy's also focusing on having small amounts of healthy foods a couple of times a day. Candy, this is why you're not succeeding in your goals. Small amounts of healthy food is not going to keep you away from the junk food. You've got to remember, fruits and vegetables are full of water, they're full of fiber, okay? These are two things that are gonna make you feel full, and you have to eat more bites to get the same amount of calories as from that dense animal foods that you've been eating. So please never restrict your plant foods, okay? Especially at this stage where your BMR is around 2,700 calories just at rest. You should be having 4,000 or more calories from the right calories, okay? At the moment, you could be having 8 to 10,000 of the wrong calories. So at an absolute minimum, 4,000 per day. Let's hear about some of the foods that Vicki ate on the Raw Till 4 challenge for 30 days.
So in 30 days, and here's why I wanted to make this video, I ate over 100 pounds of bananas. I ate almost 50 pounds of potatoes. I don't know how many kilograms of rice I ate, and I ate more fruit than probably anyone that I know or have been around in my life. I certainly eat a lot of fruit.
I do need real food. I talked a bit about the high carb plant-based diet, and I don't know. I don't know if that's for me either.
Girl, this is for you. It's going to help you so much, as it has for Vicky.
The fact is that I weigh over 300 pounds and I'm pushing 50. And so time feels as though it's running out for me. So on August the 11th, I started the 30-day Raw Till 4 challenge. And I have to say I'm so glad that I did it.
I don't know whether to try something different or to keep going or to just give up completely. I need some kind of direction. Doing this on my own is really difficult, you know, and I don't have a doctor helping me, because the doctor that was helping me was wanting me to starve myself, basically. And I don't think starving myself is the way to go. And I think more fruits and veg would be beneficial.
So Candy has the right idea. She wants to eat fruits and veggies. She knows they're healthy. She thinks she can stick to it. And that's where I come in and I can help you stick to it, Candy, if you follow my instructions. But before I get onto that, I just want to comment on the doctor's, what she said about the doctor giving her like a starvation plan. This is so tragic and it's so typical in this day and age. You know, medical doctors get around 24 hours, like 1 day of nutritional training, and they're in their whole 8+ years in medical school. This is, you know, in pre-med and medical school. That is scary. Only 1 day out of so many years, when they should be learning every single day all about nutrition, but they're taught to prescribe drugs. That's what they're taught to do, not to actually prevent illness and to help heal us, but to, you know, keep that pharmaceutical cycle going. So, you know, keep your eye on that. Remember that when you go to the doctor for nutritional advice.
I honestly don't think the ketogenic diet is going to be my be-all, end-all way to go. I think it's just too much fat for me. I think I'm getting too much fat to be able to lose fat.
She's not a silly girl. Candy is not a silly girl. She is intelligent, and she's obviously been educating herself to some degree because she understands that the keto diet, obviously, diets don't work. We already talked about that, but this one in particular, the high-fat keto diet, is going to be like a nightmare, an absolute nightmare for Candy's body. Okay, she's trying to lose fat, and intaking more fat and concentrating on having more fat and reducing carbohydrates is just going to make her fatter and fatter and fatter and unhealthy and more binge prone, and ultimately to kill her, okay, and make her seriously sick if it doesn't kill her. So it frustrates me to see these recommendations, but you know, there's a big industry, there's a big dieting industry out there, and if you don't educate yourself and become aware, then you're going to be taken advantage of, okay? All your money is going to be taken off you, and you're going to be sad and binge prone the rest of your life unless you just wake up and make that change and make the connection and educate yourself on the role of carbohydrates in the body.
Hey y'all. I hope everybody's having a good week. Today I thought I was going to keep it very simple and just have a little bit of fruit, and I thought I would have a bowl of cherries. I got me a cup of cherries. Hey y'all. Today I have a little baby watermelon. I was asked by several people to eat a watermelon, so I figured I couldn't eat one of them big suckers. So I got a little mini watermelon to eat. I'm doing good. Sticking to my fruits. I'm being healthy. Yum.
Okay, so fast forward a few days, and Candy is eating fruit. You know, she's making an effort. You know, she's enjoying it as well. You can see her energy is better when she's eating fruit. But the problem is she's eating a little bit of fruit. She's eating like a cup of cherries and she's eating a mini watermelon. I can eat a 10-kilo watermelon over the span of a couple of hours, but in one meal. If I can eat like a 10-kilo one, then girl, eat all the fruits, okay? You can easily have more than that. You need to realize that you can eat unlimited fruit. It's okay for you. Your body has a stop mechanism, which is activated when the fiber and the sugar and the water distend the stomach wall and they hit the brain. All of this together equals satisfaction after a meal. And that's why you can't overeat on fruit. It's going to leave you satisfied and you're going to be so full and you're not going to want any other, junk food that's hanging around and you're not going to want to binge. Remember what Vicki was saying about how much she was eating on the Raw Till 4 challenge?
I ate over 100 pounds of bananas. And I ate more fruit than probably anyone that I know, or I certainly eat a lot of fruit.
I mean, not only did Vicki have fruit, but she had rice and she had potatoes. She's having a lot of vegetables. So it's going to be really satisfying for you. You don't have to just eat raw vegan. You don't have to just eat fruit. You can also include the potatoes, the rice, the pasta, but it's all about what you're putting on them. If you're putting animal products and you're putting fatty sauces, lots of oil, dairy, that sort of thing, it's going to make you bigger and feel lethargic and not have enough energy, and you're not going to get those goals that you're aiming for.
Hey y'all, today I'm about as happy as I can be because I'm about to have something that I ain't had in a little while. A Papa John's pizza with the works. And I also got me some sauceless wings with some extra garlic sauce for my crusts. Chicken. Pizza has been on my crave list for a long time now. And I was starving. I started out yesterday morning going on a 24-hour fast. And my 24-hour fast was over at 10 a.m. this morning. And it's like 7:11 now.
Candy, you need to stop. You need to stop binging. And you're not going to stop binging if you're doing 24-hour fast where you're starving yourself. I know you're smarter than this. I know you know this is damaging to you, okay? And it's just sending you out to the binge. Like I've said time and time again, you need to eat as much as you want, unrestricted, of plant foods, of the fruit, of the rice, of the potatoes. You need to get it into you. Some of you might be like, no, she needs to diet. No, Candy does not need any more diets. She needs a lifestyle change, okay? So get out of here with your diet recommendation. Honestly, this lady needs to eat as much as she wants of the right calories so she stays away from the wrong calories. It's really as simple as that. You need to get that glucose in, that satisfaction, okay? You're running on a glucose deficiency because the fat is preventing the carbohydrates getting into the cell. We need to take out that excess fat so the sugar and the carbohydrates can do its thing. So Candy, I want to put together a meal plan for you. I hope you take me up on this because, I know that you want to change. It's obvious, and it makes me so sad to see, people being nasty to you in the comments and you being nasty to yourself. It honestly breaks my heart because I know there's potential in you. You can do this if you have the right guidance. Okay, so I'm going to put some recommendations out there. No, it's not going to be just all fruit, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, but it is important that you get some fruit in at least at the start of the day because it's very protective food. Okay, it's the cellular protective aspect is really important for you as you're detoxing all the animal fat and the protein and all the toxins that you've been taking in with the junk food. So take it seriously and write in the comments below if you want me to help, okay? Because I would love to help. I would love to give you my best advice.
And I got my favorite ones. A whole dozen of them. Yes, I did. I don't think I'm going to eat a dozen. but I'm gonna enjoy every last bite of these custard-filled, delicious Krispy Kreme donuts.
Okay, so there's some comments that are really, I mean, people are frustrated. I can understand it because, Candy said, I'm going on a diet, I'm going to lose weight, and then she's, doing mukbangs. But what do you expect? That's what her channel is about, and a lot of you, tune in for that. So she's getting these mixed messages. And so people, when they're like mean and stuff like that, they're just nasty in the comments. I mean, that's not tough love. I do believe in tough love, but that's when you're giving constructive feedback. When you're being tough with someone, you're saying, hey, you need to get your life in line, and here is a solution. When you're providing a solution, but when you're just doing like pointless insults, it's really, really sad. And I've got to tell you, it's not helping Candy. She needs a solution. She doesn't just need insults.
I've got to stay on this weight loss train. I'm going to try not to pay attention to that scale, because that scale is what threw me off this week. That scale was a bastard.
Okay, so lastly, I want to show you the most important part of Vicki's testimonial. Like, understandably, Candy is focusing on the number on the scales. Okay, everybody's telling her to lose weight, watch the number. So she is obsessed with the number on the scales, but it's only sabotaging her progress. Okay, you really need to focus on becoming the healthiest and happiest version of yourself, not on some like ever-changing number, because it is going to continue to sabotage you. So just watch this part of Vicki's testimonial. It is like so heartwarming. She is such a beautiful woman who can just express herself so well. So check this out.
So in 30 days, well, there was some weight loss, and that's fantastic. I lost over 20 pounds. Great. I hope for more weight loss because that's good for my health. But the biggest connection for me was that I had one single goal when I went into the 30-day challenge, and that was to be 30 days without binging. And I'm so proud to be able to say, almost to the point of tears, honestly, but I'm so proud to be able to say that more than 30 days have gone by now, and I haven't binged, and I don't feel so crazy. And that is what has made it worthwhile for me.
Wow, that's a pretty amazing testimonial from Vicki. And Candy, you too can have freedom on a vegan lifestyle, particularly a high carb vegan lifestyle, because it's going to suit your nutritional needs the best. We want to get you away from the high fat foods, the junk foods, and we want to get those carbohydrates in the fruit, the potatoes, even the pasta, the rice. You just have to be careful what you put on them. As I said, I can design a plan for you, okay? And, some people might be like, oh no, Freelee, you shouldn't do that. Or look, I'm about stepping up and trying to help before it is too late, okay? It breaks my heart to see some of the videos from Candy, okay? So if I can do something to help with her to feel satisfied and to start to be her happiest, healthiest self, then I'm gonna put my hand up and say, hey, I wanna help. All right, so Candy, please take this seriously. Let me know in the comments below if you want some assistance, and we can get in contact. It would be great if you got in contact with Vicki as well, and we can get this ball rolling. All right, guys, this is another quite a long video. Let me know in the comments below what you think, and if you got anyone else that you think needs some help, let me know. And I love you guys, and I'll see you soon.